Alright, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Welcome back to another Star Citizen video. So we're doing 4 ship reviews in one. We've got all the stats laid out for you, and it is all the constellations. We're to a tour each one, we'll give you the stats, and then at the end, we'll give you all the stats for each one, sum it up and tell you which one is the best. Which ship today will be crowned King of the Constellations? Let's jump in and find out. We have the fan favourite, the Taurus. Will this get beaten today? The Andromeda. The Aquila. And the luxurious Phoenix. Alright, and starting with everyone's favourite, Constellation, Taurus. Alright. Let's have a look at this thing, get inside, and yeah, get on the comparisons. So the look doesn't change much between all of them. Neither does the speed, neither does the fuel, but ever so slightly in one of them. So this is the Taurus. This thing here is 130,040 health. You've got little lockers here, and if you can be bothered, you can actually place things inside them, and with the persistence they will stay in there. We've also got a shower slash toilet thing, but unlike most of the other ships out there, it hasn't yet been really implemented. And yeah, we've not got working mirrors or anything in there either. You got a couple of gun racks, and you got your little pop-up table and seating area. Now heading in, everyone's bone to pick on the Constellations would be the cockpit. Now you have got a lot of real estate across them windows there. Hopping in to the driver's seat. Alright. Pretty good, and especially if you've got 2 of your mates with you, it looks pretty sweet. Shield on this thing is 56,100. Right, so you got 130,000 health, 56,000 shield, basically. But I think they're alright. What do you guys think to the look of these things? Of course, the Taurus is a hauler, a cargo ship. The lower turret down there is actually a tractor beam to help you move all the cargo. It's actually in a really good position to get to the lift. We'll lower the lift and we'll go have a look. And then you got a normal upper turret on the top. It's at about 960 DPS. So we'll lower that. And while we're on the subject of turrets and guns, this thing has 4 size 5 laser repeaters on. That will dish out 2,564 DPS. Which is pretty insane. So I've lowered the cargo hold, and that is my turret there at the bottom front that you see has popped out. If I just whip it around there, got your cargo elevator there, and that will more than reach, and you can drag and put your cargo up. Pretty sweet. It will hold 174 SCUs of cargo, which is the highest out of all 4. So if you're looking for a cargo hauler, this is the one. Decent amount of health and an alright amount of shield. The shield also is quadrant. Okay, so it's not like the whole thing has 56,000 like a bubble shield. Look at those big size 5s hanging off the sides there. It's got an insane fire rate, it honestly has. And for a cargo hauler, it's bloody beast. And also this back bit here is for more cargo, but this is also protected. So you won't actually, if anyone scans your ship for illegal property or drugs or anything like that, it won't come up. So the fuel on this one is the same as all the others. Hydrogen 66 and quantum is 3. The SCM speed, so just traveling normally, is 200, and the nav speed that's traveling with your quantum drive on is 1,000. Also, this thing packs a serious amount of missiles. So you got 24 Strike Force 2s, which is pretty crazy. If you press G, you can actually pile them up, as you can see up there. 4 arms, and you can fire 4 at a time. It will turn like an absolute Arctic lorry, and the belly is exposed in combat. So there is the Taurus. Alright, so with the Taurus being 200 of my Great British Pounds, we have up next the Andromeda, which is 240 of my Great British Pounds. So we have gone up by 40 quid. Right, and as you can tell, not much has changed in the appearance of this thing. You will have a slightly smaller cargo hold. The cargo hold in the Taurus was 174. This is 96. So this is the gunship variant, and surprisingly enough, it has less DPS than the Taurus. But, don't know if you've noticed something different on this one. On the back, we have a snub fighter. So you've got a bit of extra fighter power there. And also underneath, the turret that comes out the bottom here will be an actual turret that fires laser repeaters and not a gravity lifter. So we're going to go into the back. As you can see, it's quite small compared to the Taurus, but still big enough to get a rover or any of that sort of vehicles on. Same deal with the back. You've got a protected back bit, but also you've got your snub-nosed fighter there, which you can get in and fly off from. There's your missile racks. We'll go to the cockpit and have a count of them as we're on the way. This is 4 times size 4. The stock DPS turrets on this is 1,570, where the Taurus is 2,564, so about 1,000 difference, honestly. But you have got your snub-nosed fighter, 100,000 shield in this, but remember it's quadrant shield, not like total shield. The more parts you've got on your ship, the more vulnerable each part would be, if you get me. Like a heavy that didn't bode well. Like a heavy fighter, for example, my Aegis Vanguard has 12,000 shield. It's bubble shield. That's all at once, all in one place. This will be split up into bits. So it's got 184,000 health, this thing. And it's got 100,000 quadrant shield. So you've got nearly double the shield and an extra 50k health compared to the Taurus. So on top of that, you've got a turret that comes out the top, a turret that comes out the bottom. So the pilot is firing 1,570, and then you've got 2 turrets and a snub fighter, so you've got a little bit more damage on there. And I'd say the turrets add about 960 DPS on each one, with the Taurus only having 1, that makes up for it. And with this health and shield, if you're going into battle as well as hauling cargo or vehicles, or running like a 4-man crew, this is perfect. And this is actually my final choice as well for the ship, given the price, the stats and everything like that. The SCM speed is 200 and the nav is 1000. And again, with the fuel, hydrogen 66, quantum is 3. So this has got 28 Marksman 1 missiles and 24 Strike Force 2 missiles. So 52 missiles is actually mental. So we have actually got a chart up of everything compared at the end, which we will show you. But yeah, turret, and then your massive cannons on the side, and your snub nose as well. So absolute beast of a ship. Ridiculous amount of missiles on there. Alright, the Constellation Aquila is about to rock up out of there now. And this one is 315 Great British Pounds compared to the Andromeda 240 and the Taurus 200. So, as you notice this thing coming out of the ground, there's a little bit of difference straight away, but it's just at the front there. So I think this is everyone's favourite cockpit, although it's got a little bit of, it looks like it's got braces or something. There's a bit of metal work up there as well. But yeah, let's jump on and have a look. So the different weapons on this, we're talking, this is 4 times size 5 laser cannons. So we're off the laser repeaters and we're on the laser cannons, and there's 4 size 5 of these. for a whopping 3,152 DPS, which is insane. And it's got a snub fighter at the back, and it's got your turrets on too. Alright, on board you notice a little bit of a colour change, but that's about it. That door doesn't even open, so that's good. Coming on, everything is pretty much the same, but you've got all this windscreen there, so a different design on the windscreen.
Welcome to Robert Space Industries.
You've got the laser repeaters on there. You've got one at the top as well. So this thing is about the same as Andromeda given health and shield. Health is 180,644. Shield is 100,000 again. So the shield is twice the size of the Taurus on both the Andromeda and the Aquila, and 50k more health. This has 96 SCU, the same as the Andromeda. Storage in the back, and you're talking snub fighter as well, right at the back there. The SCM speed on this is actually 146. This is the slowest out of all four, and all the others have the same amount at 200. The nav is 988, and the nav on the rest of them is 1,000. So I don't see the point of losing 12 nav speed, to be honest. Seems a bit picky, but hey ho. Right, jumping in, you've got 24 Strike Force 2 missiles on there. Shouldn't have done that. So as you can see, these are the cannons. Very powerful, but fire very differently compared to the other laser repeaters. It's like laser miniguns, essentially, the other ones. Alright, this next beast coming out is the final one. This is the Phoenix. £350. Not weight, Great British pennies. So, 350 quid compared to the Aquila at 315, Andromeda at 240, and the Taurus at 200. So why the hell is this 350 quid? Well, it looks a lot different coming out in that midsection there. So the health on this thing is 161,000, so puts it at 20,000 less than the Aquila Andromeda, but 30,000 more than the Taurus. But obviously you've got that price increase as well of an extra 150 quid on top of the Taurus, man. Let's get into the front. So these are 4 S5 cannons, size 5 cannons on there, the same as what we just fired on the Aquila. This will dish out 1,864 DPS. So jumping aboard, everything looks kind of normal. You know, you've got these fancy white seats instead. If we just spin around in these, pop the power on, you've got 28 Marksman 1 missiles. You've got your man turret down there in the lower, and your upper turret too. Got the black doors on there. Okay, everything looks pretty normal. You get to this section. Damn. Look at this thing. So this gets full style points. You got a fish tank and a bed in there coming through. You got some more luxury seats, more there with a table. You've even got some cards on the table, some books, a TV, and look at this, man, absolutely sick looking bar with a view of the stars. I say, for style and luxurious, like, this is just the absolute winner. Can't do a lot with it functionally, though, is the thing. So, we're going back there. You got your fish tank. Know what this is? Dance floor. Get your disco on. Get your bar going. This side bit, double bed. Look at all the windows as well. And you go back and it's the usual, but you've still got your snub fighter down there too. Oh, and if you was wondering, yes, you can still get a vehicle in there. So how sick is that? And yes, it can still come out of the bottom, which is amazing. With the 4 size 5 laser cannons, 80 SCU as well, before I start in the back of there. 80 compared to the 296s and the 174 on a Taurus. SCM speed 200, nav 1000 again. But on here, you actually have the new point defense turrets. So that red thing on the back there in the middle of the tail is a new point defense turret, and that will fire automatically at fighters and missiles that are locked onto you. So that thing is pretty damn sweet, boys and girls. But is it worth the 350 quid? I'll let you decide on that. Right, let's go on to the sofa. We're going to have a brief summarise of all the ships, price, storage, speed, health, everything we've just gone over. What is your favourite? Do put it in the comments as well and tell me what you think. So, here is my amazing graph that I made. And have a little zoom in. Constellations, Taurus 200 quid, Andromeda 240, Aquila 315 and the Phoenix 350. So these are all in price order. Health 130, 184, 180, 161. So not a great deal in the N3 there. And the shield and health on the Taurus is just compared. Well, saying that, the shield on the Phoenix as well, and it's a quadrant shield. So 56, 100k, 100k, 48. But the Phoenix is like a luxurious thing. Whereas the others are like cargo, multi-role. You got gunship on the Andromeda there. Alright, so going over the cargo of them all, you got 174 SCU, 96, 96, and 80. Because obviously the Phoenix is a luxurious one. The fuel is pretty much the same. Well, it is exactly the same across the board. So if you want it in SCUs, it's actually 66 SCUs of hydrogen. And you got 3.5 SCUs of quantum fuel. And then the speed along the same part of the Aquila is a little less there. So ignore the number 4 there on new point defense. It's got 1 point defense on the Phoenix. Snub fighter on the last 3. You've got 2 turrets that can shoot with 2 size 3 laser repeaters on each. That's 4 extra laser repeaters to the damage. And then also you got the point laser on the back of this Phoenix here. So very defensive capabilities on the Phoenix. And also it looks banging inside. But the Phoenix DPS is low compared to the Aquila because of the amplifying the output, the power output. If you don't set it to full, you get about 3 shots out of it before you have to wait for it. If you set it to full, you get about 8 shots out of it. So very slow fire rate and waiting for it to charge, even though it's got the same cannons as the Aquila on there. My favourite choice overall would be the Andromeda. I had this for ages, and I recently upgraded it to the Starlancer Max. And the Max was not my sort of ship for me at all. So I've actually upgraded that to the TAC already, but obviously we won't probably get that until next year. So Andromeda, just there on the price, you know, can't justify really spending another 75 for this, where there's not really much to go on in way of improvement. Same on the Phoenix, just there's not much practical use for the Phoenix right now with everything that's in there. Looks cool, but maybe if they add fish into the game and you can put your own fish in there and, you know, stuff like that, you can actually drink from the bar, put some music on, TVs work. You know, once you've got those luxurious capabilities, Phoenix will be a banger. But overall, Andromeda, 184,000 health, 100,000 shield, 96 cargo capacity. You got the snub on it. Yeah, I think Andromeda is probably there for me, unless you're into cargo hauling, but you are sacrificing a lot of health and shield, so the survivability on this thing is there. Alright guys, that was a particularly tough review for me, considering I've only done like 3 or 4 reviews before. We've got more coming out, but I have played Star Citizen for about 6 years now. So RSI event is on at IEE, and I just went and grabbed all of these. I used the Taurus for absolutely ages, and then I switched to Andromeda and used that for ages as well. I've been through them all. Andromeda was my favourite by far. But yeah, personal preference, really. You guys are going to have to put in the comments what you like, if I've missed anything, if any of the stats are wrong. The Andromeda was... there's not really any more recent reviews or anything like that on it, so I'm guessing it's just sitting pretty for a while. But I'm not sure if anything's due to change. There is rumours of things like the Taurus dropping down the size of turrets, or, you know, hindering the ability for the pilot to shoot all those weapons. We'll have to wait and see what comes out with that, and we'll probably do an updated video on it. But IA's in full swing. You can get the Polaris, you can get RSI and everything like that. So yeah, just thought we'd have a little test, boys and girls. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.